Hello and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I'm Ayodeji Makinde. Thanks for joining us. The collapse of a bridge along Gwaram-Basaka Road in Jigawa State has resulted in a fatal accident that claimed 21 lives. The bridge collapsed as a result of heavy downpour that washed away the portion of the road, and unknown to the oncoming vehicles, they fell into the ditch. Eyewitnesses confirmed that 21 bodies of the passengers believed to be from Kano State traveling to some northeastern states have been accounted for, while one injured person is receiving medical attention. Correspondent Abdullahi Garba Brninkudu reports that the road under rehabilitation is a shorter route between Kano and Gombe and Yola. Jigawa State government had only last week closed another bridge on the road to articulated vehicles to avert collapse. Now, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, has ordered the immediate deployment of police intervention team to Plateau State to carry out on-the-spot assessment and ensure enhanced coordinated response. A statement by the force indicates that the deployment is sequel to the unfortunate attack on innocent citizens in Rukuba community, just north local government area of Plateau State. The police intervention team, headed by DIG Sanusi Lemu, is expected to, amongst other things, protect communities, prevent further attacks, and bring the perpetrators to justice. The operatives are expected to provide additional investigative intelligence and forensic support to the Plateau State Police Command on ongoing investigation and rescue operations. The IGP, while condemning the incident, calls for calm and assured victims and relatives of the attack that the police is working with the military and other security forces and the state government to ensure that the perpetrators of the unfortunate incident are brought to book. Meanwhile, the presidency has condemned Saturday morning attack on travelers from a religious event in Bauchi passing through Jos, the Plateau State capital, and regrets the reported death of at least 22 persons, killed with several others injured in that ambush on their traveling party. A statement from the presidency says it is known that Plateau State has been one of the states affected by herder-farmer clashes, which have in significant ways been curtailed following the intense peace-building efforts of the administration of Governor Simon Lalong. The statement, however, noted that it was not an agriculturalist or pastoralist confrontation, but rather a direct attack on members of a community exercising their rights to travel freely and to follow the faith of their choice. It also noted that with the evident preparedness of their attackers, it is clear that it was a well-conceived and prearranged assault on a known target, not an opportunist ambush. The presidency condoled with the families of the victims and says it will continue to liaise closely with the local authorities, including security and police and governmental agencies, insisting that justice is swiftly but fairly delivered to the perpetrators. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has warned that in line with his commitment to protect all Nigerians, he will order security agencies to fish out the perpetrators and bring them to justice. The president has also commended ongoing efforts by the governors of Plateau, Bauchi, and Ondo, the Sultan of Sokoto, Saad Abubakar III, and Sheikh Dahiru Bauchi, as well as a number of notable Christians and Muslim religious leaders, as they intensify efforts to calm down the situation. In a related development, the Plateau State government has imposed a curfew on Jos North, BASSA, and Jos South local governments commencing from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. in order to avoid further deterioration of the situation because of the Rukuba attack. Plateau State Governor Simon Bako Lalong says the curfew shall remain in place subject to further review by the State Security Council. The government will continue to monitor the unfolding situation and take further necessary measures to ensure the safety of lives and property. For an update on Rukuba Road killings and mood in the town, let's join Frama in our Jos Network Center. Hello, Frama.
Ayodeji, and welcome to Jos. Normalcy is gradually returning to Jos after the killing of some travelers along Rukuba Road in Jos North local government area. This follows the swift intervention of security personnel who brought the situation under control. Yildiz Danladi reports that 20 persons have so far been arrested in connection with the incident.
The peace of this community was threatened on Saturday morning when some travelers were killed, a situation that created unease in the states. However, relative peace have returned to the affected areas as only few people and vehicles are plying the roads, with security personnel at strategic positions within the metropolis. The situation is different at Terminus Market, where the usual economic activities were paralyzed. Meanwhile, the Plateau State Special Hospital is providing medical care to injured victims.
So far, we have about 6 people that have just been rushed in, and so we are struggling to stabilize them. 2 of them will need some surgical intervention, and we're working on that.
Following the attack, the Plateau State government has imposed 24-hour curfew on Jos North to contain further security threats.
The curfew in Jos North local government starts from 2 o'clock this afternoon indefinitely. While Jos South and BASSA local governments, their curfew time still remains, beginning from 6 in the evening to 6 a.m. We have gone so many steps backward. We are calling on Plateau citizens that they must live in peace, and there is no alternative to peace.
In the meantime, the security task force has arrested 20 persons in connection with the incident and has rescued 7 victims of the attack who are receiving medical attention. In Jos, Yildiz Danladi, NTA News.
Training on preventive diplomacy and conflict resolution organized by the National Orientation Agency in collaboration with a peace-building organization has ended in Jos with a call on stakeholders to dwell more on issues that will further unite the country. Sa'adatu Mohammed Kafa has details.
The cases of unrest in some parts of the country brought those participants together to find solutions to the security challenges. The National Orientation Agency is at the forefront of this initiative with support from other partners to train participants in skills of managing crisis with minimum casualties.
All players, especially institutions of state, that are charged with the responsibility for securing the country, need to come together with a view to getting information leading to conflict prevention.
Preventive diplomacy and conflict resolution is a very key, important aspect of the national life.
The key players agree that employing diplomacy to prevent and manage crisis is an instrument to protect lives.
This program is to teach the coming up leaders on how to interact with the communities and to avert any problem that may likely come up in the near future.
We need more people with soft power approaches in solving some of our many security challenges.
The training exposes participants to the ideas of keeping a safe environment. In Jos, Sa'adatu Mohammed Kafa, NTA News.
And that's it from Jos. The news continues with Ayodeji in Abuja.
Thanks, Frama. Unity, justice, and fairness are strong pillars of any great nation. This was the consensus of speakers at a service to chart a way towards an indivisible Nigeria organized by the Presbyterian Church of Nigeria. Joseph Otsen has details.
We are ready to dialogue, to assist the government in dialoguing with aggrieved parties so that this country can move forward. Without peace, we can't move forward.
In the spirit of togetherness, the seek God's grace for Nigeria to stand firm and overcome difficult times. With the theme, From Glory to Glory, the Presbyterian Church of Nigeria Synod of the North dedicates its 175th anniversary to a united and indivisible Nigeria.
Almost every country today that is now a first world, quote unquote, most of them had and were in the situations that Nigeria is today, but they walked themselves away from it and reoriented themselves, reoriented their economy.
If the nation will really sit up
and address problems where they are found, not minding whether they are from your people or they are from your region. I'm sure everybody will enjoy this country.
Speaking evil of our nation amounts to perpetuating disunity and negative perceptions.
For dedicated service to the church and country, some Nigerians were given awards at the occasion, including the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Solomon Itainang, and His Royal Highness Emmanuel Onogo, Dezego Asaga, Ohafia. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
Parents and caregivers have always identified their children's teenage years as the best period. They require close monitoring to ensure they remain focused on their aspirations. Now, the teens arm of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Everlasting Arms Parish, Gariki, Abuja, is organizing a career conference for this group. Olabode Arewa has more.
All the rich men in the world, that they don't just get there by flying there, that they get there by working hard.
Glory Oluwaseyi, one of Nigeria's tomorrow, positioning herself on the career path to drive the country's information technology sector. That is why she and other youth are participating in this year's Redeemed Christian Church of God Youth Career Conference with the theme, A Brave New World, Who Dares Wins.
The idea of this Teens Conference is to provide role models teenagers can look up to. We want them to see people who have, by dint of hard work and integrity, have achieved, so they can look up to them.
Their lives are important, they have a bright future, but all of that is anchored in Christ Jesus.
What I would tell them is, I always say this to everyone, youths and old people, it starts with believing. You have to believe. It starts with your mind, and that's something that is free.
The conference aims to raise responsible Christian teenagers for future leadership in Abuja. Olabode Arewa, NTA News.
Nigerian youth are stepping up advocacy to ending gender-based violence and promote gender equality as well as entrepreneurship for self-reliance. From various parts of the country, they converged on Abuja to share experiences and challenges militating against youth development with a view to engaging relevant stakeholders on finding solutions. Joshua Ojito reports that the conversation revolves around preventive measures against gender-based violence and support for victims, while advocating for stiffer penalty for perpetrators of the crime.
Theme for this year's event is focused on looking at issues that are regarding sexual and gender-based violence of young people, the issues of education, the issues of young people's health, and when these conversations are had, we're also bringing people from different parts of the country. As you know, Nigeria is continuing to become a polarized country, and it's important that young people from different backgrounds, from diverse religion and culture come together and have such frank conversation in order to find and provide solutions.
Young people have a very strong role to play in addressing the challenges that we're seeing around gender-based violence, inequality in general, because a lot of the time they are affected by it, right? So they are already, unwillingly or not, they are already part of the outcome, the changes, the situation has already sucked them in. So if we empower young people, they can now be the ones creating solutions.
People need to find their strengths. So in Nigeria, people do entrepreneurship as an alternative. If you can't find work, then you become an entrepreneur. I think people have to be deliberate.
Now to a bit of security. As part of efforts to ensure adequate security of lives and property of the citizenry, 100 personnel of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps are undergoing training on weapon handling at the Kano State Command. Lawal Salau Inwa reports that another 2 weeks training awaits the personnel at the 3 Battalion of the Nigerian Army for effective service delivery.
These are some of the men of Nigeria's Security and Civil Defense Corps. Kano State Command undergoing a 2-week training of weapon handling after a forensic and behavioral test. It was conducted under the supervision of the command headquarters to ensure psychological profiling of the arms-bearing personnel in the state.
It's what we call, in crime management, we have four types of risk. One is risk deduction. One is risk deduction, that's what it's trying to do. And the meaning in the literal form is prevention is better than cure. Once you want to bear arms, they want to see you in the goods of a frame of mind.
Firstly, if you are giving or you are going to handle arms to personnel, you need to test their psychological balance or imbalance so that you can be able to know whether they can be able to handle the arms appropriately or otherwise.
The personnel are expected to have the idea of weapon handling and are to receive another 2 weeks training at the 3 Battalion of Nigerian Army, other training to be received by the personnel in shooting range at Katsina State within another couple of weeks to finalize their training exercise. Lawal Sallo Inwa, NTA News.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has arrested a woman with 100 wraps of heroin and 2 parcels of the same substance at the departure hall of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos. A statement by the agency: the suspect was arrested during an outward clearance of passengers on Qatar Airways flights to Florentine, Italy. The drugs found on her were concealed in 5 containers of relaxer cream. In the same vein, the agency intercepted a United Kingdom-bound consignment of illicit drugs at the narco exports shed of the airport, containing a total weight of 121.25 kilograms of illicit substances, to include cocaine, heroin, and cannabis sativa. Meanwhile, in continuation of the nationwide offensive action against drug traffickers, the agency has intercepted 4.25 kilograms of skunk, 30 pinches of crack cocaine weighing 87 grams, 6 sachets of Arizona weighing 265 grams, and of 65.43 kilograms of diazepam and 286.3 kilograms of cannabis, while 6 suspects were arrested in connection with the crime. Kemi is in our Ibadan Network Center, and she has the next set of reports. Good evening, Kemi. It's good to see you.
See you to Ayodeji, and welcome to Ibadan. Issues ranging from forced relocation, dispossession of land, among others, are part of impact of colonization and westernization. In spite of these challenges, existence of indigenous people across the globe remains pivotal to the sustenance of cultural values and traditions in the society. Claudio Ladoshu has more.
Did you know that there are certain people who are inheritors and practitioners of unique cultures and ways of relating to people and the environment? They are called indigenous people, who hold a vast diversity of unique cultures, traditions, language, and knowledge systems. No doubt there is no existence of a race without a set of people dominating the affairs of such race. Though, due to colonization, some of the ideology of indigenous people are said to be reformed or wiped out.
The killing of twins in some areas in Africa, it was the white that stopped it. Even the slave trade, it was they who championed it. And for them to say, okay, you people have a culture, let us set aside a day to remind people of their culture.
With Nigeria as a nation endowed with rich cultural affinity, necessary procedures to ensure the protection of the multi-ethnic entity is a step in the right direction.
We Africans, Nigerians inclusive, we should go and pick our culture wherever we have thrown them.
With about 476 million indigenous population spread across 90 countries around the globe, August 9 every year is a day set aside by UNESCO to remember the position of indigenous people in the development of every society. In Ibadan, Kayode Oladoshu, NTA News.
Despite daily arrests and parade by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, It seems the rate of cyber criminals are increasing in the country, especially among students of tertiary institutions. In our next report, Damilola Balogun-Lebio seeks to find the solution to this menace.
In Kwara State, the EFCC has been able to prosecute a large number of youths caught in various degrees of cybercrimes, mainly from all the higher institutions in the state. These cybercrimes perpetrated online come in form of harassment, stalking, email phishing, dissemination of child pornography, and various sorts of spoofing, credit card fraud, human trafficking, identity theft, among others. What is worrisome is the rate at which youth in Nigeria, particularly in tertiary institutions, go into cybercrime.
You can use the internet, but for several lot of things. You can advance more. You can be the best in your class. You can be the best in the society.
I realize that a lot of families actually promote the act of cybercrime.
This set of people are of the opinion that tertiary institutions should adopt character modeling into their curriculum to put youths back on track.
The university environment will also complement by reviewing the curriculum to reflect the 21st century opportunities.
Any student that is caught is arranged for student disciplinary committee and is expelled.
The Kwara State Police Command has come up with a team that will deal with issues of crimes, especially cyber crime.
Experts are calling for more holistic approach, particularly instilling moral values, celebrating hard work, and expunging poverty in Nigeria as a way of putting an end to cyber crimes. Damilola Balogun-Lebio, NTA News.
And that does it from Ibadan. We now take a break. Nationwide continues with Ayodeji in Abuja when we return.
Nigerian youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth Entrepreneurship Support Years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths, unifying the nation.
Forms into NTA Television College JOS 2021-2022 2-year National Innovation Diploma Program are on sale from 9th of August to 29th of October 2021. Candidates who wish to apply for admission must have 5 O-level credits in relevant subjects including English language and mathematics. The courses available for application include film and television production, broadcast journalism, and television engineering technology. The admission forms can be obtained at NTA Television College or any NTA station nationwide at the cost of 7,500 naira only. Payment for the form is through remitter platform only in favor of NTA Television College. For more inquiries, please call 0803 079 5335 or 0806 980 9807. Management Announcer.
The NOA, for example, has succeeded a great deal in sensitization during the pandemic, and we have found the community mobilization officers most effective in the sensitization and in the advocacy campaigns, creating awareness on the coronavirus pandemic. We have done this through the production of jingles, which were very widely distributed in different languages, in English, in Hausa, in Yoruba, in Igbo, in Tiv, in Igala, in Kanuri, in Fulfulde, in Ijo, in Isoko, in Bini. In talk of any other language you can think of, we had translated sensitization messages.
This message is from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
We are StarTimes, the most affordable digital pay TV platform with the widest signal coverage in Nigeria, dedicated to bringing the best TV entertainment around the world to your screen. From Hollywood to Bollywood to Nollywood, we offer the most affordable subscription. Enjoy over 75 channels for as low as 1,700 naira, like Nat Geo Wild, BBC, ESPN, and premium sports like Emirates FA Cup, La Liga, Bundesliga, wrestling. What's more exciting? We have the most flexible payment options in Nigeria. Don't dull. Join us now for an exciting journey. StarTimes. Enjoy digital life.
You're welcome back. Now let's serve you some health-related matters. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has announced 665 new cases of COVID-19 in the country. The 665 new cases include 14 states and the Federal Capital Territory, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 181,962 cases in Nigeria. Out of the new confirmed cases, Lagos has 369, Anambra has 68, Taraba 58, Oyo 63, and Akwa Ibom 48. Others are Kwara 28, Rivers 26, Edo has 21, Ekiti 15, Ondo 13, Delta 7 and the Federal Capital 3, Ogun 3 and Gombe 1. 166,826 cases have been treated and discharged, while 2,219 deaths have been recorded in the country. The Buhari Media Organization, BMO, has celebrated Nigeria's ranking as the 4th best in the world in the containment of COVID-19 pandemic. The group said the World Health Organization's ranking of Nigeria among the top 10 countries that were able to handle the multifaceted negative impacts of the pandemic did not come to it as a surprise, considering that President Muhammadu Buhari had, at the outbreak of the pandemic in early 2020, taken up the gauntlet and showed quality leadership. In a statement signed by its chairman, Niyi Akinsiju, BMO noted that as a mark of President Buhari's determination to safeguard the lives of Nigerians and residents alike during the pandemic, it set up a standing committee, the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, chaired by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, who, along with other cabinet members and other stakeholders, embarked on a daily appraisal and briefing of the populace about the measures being put in place to contain the pandemic. BMO further said that the team worked tirelessly with the National Center for Disease Control in collaboration with international agencies towards ensuring that the negative effects of the disease was reduced to the barest minimum. Hence, Nigeria recorded one of the lowest infection and fatality figures in the world. It is also on record that the federal government committed funds towards procuring vaccines from across the globe for the benefit of Nigerians. In view of the recent cholera outbreak in the country, the Imo State government has taken enlightenment campaigns to rural communities in order to ensure compliance to proper sanitary condition. Rina Obasi, who visited some areas, brings us details.
The recent outbreak of cholera continues to generate concerns at all levels in view of the dangers inherent and the fact that it's preventable.
It is more common during the rainy season. In our environment, you will see so many refuse dumps here and there, discriminate refuse dumps, and people defecating here and there wherever they find a spot.
Mrs. Chidima Iwanyang, who shared her experience with NTA News, says she almost lost her child to cholera.
I got the experience before, then I should avoid feeding them with feeding bottle.
While the federal government is intensifying efforts towards creation of awareness, the Imo State government and other community leaders say they are leaving nothing to chance in preventing the disease, especially in rural communities.
The cholera outbreak has not gotten into Imo State. We, as Ministry of Health, will be in mounting surveillance in respect to that, such that we'll keep educating people on the regular hand washing.
We have embarked on massive awareness campaign on personal hygiene.
In terms of level of awareness, some rural dwellers say they are aware that poor sanitary condition and consumption of infected food items could increase the risk of cholera infection.
I'm cleaning the environment and washing their clothes. I'll make sure that all of them bathe regularly, giving them neat water, washing their plates.
To end further spread of cholera in the country, medical experts say cleanliness must become a lifestyle. In Owerri, Rina Obasi, NTA News.
To ensure the provision of safe, quality and accessible blood and blood products for transfusion to patients in the country, there is an urgent need for a uniform regulatory standard. This is the thrust of the meeting of experts on the development of the standard for blood safety development in the country. BASSA reports.
In as much as blood is life, blood can equally be very dangerous and hazardous product to the body. Unsafe blood kills. This way the words of the National Coordinator of National Blood Transfusion Services, who also stressed the need for blood safety regulations in the country.
Is to ensure that appropriate guidelines are put in place to guide all blood establishments to ensure the provision of safe, quality and accessible blood and blood products for Nigerians.
We have provided now the document that will define the minimum below which any operator will be found liable and can face the full wrath of the law.
The expert committee consists of all national health regulatory bodies, health professional associations, and civil societies. Members of the committee share their expertise on the guidelines for the regulations.
We have seen a rise in renal transplant and dialysis, and then bone marrow transplant. So these therapies usually depend significantly on blood transfusion. We therefore need to provide guidelines for the safety and accessibility of such commodity to those that require it.
Medical practitioners, health professionals, and business entities were advised to ensure compliance to the guidelines. BASSA, NTA News.
Medical professionals in the country have been advised to work in synergy irrespective of affiliation or position for the benefit of Nigerians and the growth of the sector. This was the opinion of speakers at a one-day Medical Elders Forum in Abuja. Again, BASSA reports.
Top medical professional looking to the past, the present and the future. The forum presented opportunity for elders in the medical profession to share their experiences and also provide solutions to present problems confronting the medical profession and explain their activities generally. It was agreed that the health sector has recorded some gains and losses.
And now suddenly we find an optometrist call himself a doctor, his rivals an ophthalmologist, and the stories across the lab and so on and so forth. The lab says they are the one in charge of the lab. This confusion has fragmented the health service. So we are now having a fragmented health service and we're getting entrenched. This is a very dangerous situation. I don't know how we'll come out of it, but I know a small thing, a strike.
At no time in the history of NMA and the medical profession am I seeing our association and our profession in danger as I'm seeing now. Doctors should ask themselves questions.
For the health system of any nation to deliver quality healthcare services to its populace, some factors were identified including strong political will, commitments, effective regulation and legislation, accountability and respect for oath of practice.
They should also be looking at the issue of healthcare financing advocacy so that innovation in addressing the health sector challenges and the medical profession will also be deployed.
They also advocated strong mentorship of the younger medical practitioners by elders in the profession. BASSA, NTA News.
And still on health-related matters, as part of measures towards revitalizing the FCT healthcare system, the FCT Minister of State, Ramatu Tijani Aliyu, has inaugurated the FCT USAID Steering Committee. This, the minister stated, is a follow-up to the Memorandum of Understanding signed between the United States Agency for International Development and the Federal Capital Territory Administration. Ifeanyi Ezumba reports.
The Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, between the two parties was signed on December 17, 2020, to support the healthcare system to deliver affordable and sustainable services to residents of the Federal Capital Territory. FCT Minister of State Ramatu Tijani Aliyu noted that the MOU seeks to address weak healthcare system, especially the primary healthcare performances, and the root causes of poorly functioning system in the territory, saying that through the partnership, the administration would improve its capacity to manage resources as demonstrated by increased budgetary allocation for primary health care.
Through this partnership, the FCT administration is seeking to achieve the following milestones: improve the capacity of the FCTA to plan, allocate and manage resources as demonstrated by increase budgetary allocation for the primary health care and increase the expenditure for the primary health care as well. Increase the coverage of the FCT's minimum benefit package for the primary health care to 20% of the residents of the FCT in 2020 and 60% in 2024.
The mission director, USAID, Anna Peterson, who joined the inauguration, identified primary health care services as the foundation of strengthening universal health coverage. She expressed hope that this new steering committee would provide a roadmap in guiding primary health care partnership. In Abuja, Ifeanyi Ezumba, NTA News.
Lagos State government engages in educational robotics. Adiola in our Lagos studio tells us more, plus other reports from that axis. Good evening, Adiola.
Good evening, Ayo. Lagos State government is leveraging on the global trend in educational revolution in robotics to help students unlock their potential in the application of strategic problem-solving knowledge through logical and analytical reasoning. This was demonstrated at this year's Schools Robotics competition, which rounded off in Lagos. Musa Toliat has details.
The display of robotics assemblage at the competition stems from the continued efforts by the State Ministry of Education to promote science, technology, engineering, arts and mathematics education in schools across the metropolis. Not less than 100 schools participated in the robotics competition before the emergence of the 24 finalists, which comprised 4 teams from the 6 educational districts in junior and senior categories.
Looks like it's going for the hydropower.
The objective is to create a learning environment that can enhance collaboration and communication among students, which will in the long run build their engineering intuition and computational thinking capacity.
Every robot was different. They designed it differently. Some added aesthetics, flashing lights and so on. Some trained the robot to pick 4 items, some 2 items. I thought it was remarkable.
Beyond the competition, we are looking at students that will be relevant in the 22nd, 23rd, and so on centuries to come.
At the end of the keenly contested competition, Ojo Senior High School from District 5 emerged winners in the senior category, while Igbo Junior Secondary School Mushin in District 6 won in the junior category.
In every child, there's a talent, there's a gift that is innate. And what the district is trying to do is to bring them out.
We are expected to go back home now to put more effort. Where we start from our state level to go and continue in advanced one.
There's 1 or 2 adjustments we need to make on our robots, and I'm certain after that adjustment, we will win at the national and international.
The 6 finalists will represent Lagos State at the National Robotics Competition later in the year in Abuja. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
Adoption and adaptation of technologies has been identified as one of the major ways of tackling the problem of unemployment among timid Nigerian youths. This is a submission of stakeholders at a summer training program. Samuel Jensen reports that participants are excited to be part of the event.
For Sinachi and Olumide, engaging in the summer tech training is a road to the realization of life dream of self-reliance and creativity. Sinachi, a primary school pupil, and other young boys and girls who chose to meaningfully engage themselves during this summer holiday believe that skills acquired during the training will build them up in terms of human capital development.
I want to be able to learn how to do graphic designs and 3D modeling.
I always took interest in graphic designs and my mom always encouraged me to pursue my dreams, so I decided to join this program to make me understand more.
For the initiator, the goal of raising future entrepreneurs to reduce dependence on white-collar jobs is being realized.
Well, it was an idea to create an enabling environment, a place where young people, not just only young people, but people of all age groups can come and learn tech skills in a short period of time.
Tutors and participants in the 5-day training program, including staff of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA Lagos Network Center, say it is rewarding and fulfilling.
All resources to get yourself trained is out there. All you need to do is explore to get yourself updated with 21st century skills. All we are doing here is teaching 21st century skills, how to be self-sufficient.
It's about web development, so it's very relevant to our work because every line of production now is tending towards the online thing. So it's going to be an added advantage to NTA as a whole.
It has actually helped me a lot to understand how to use Autodesk Maya to animate some things, objects.
Participants were taken through web design, graphics design, and animation, among other skills. In Lagos, Samuel Johnson, NTA News.
Now, Sadia Umar Digi in Sokoto will have the next set of reports after I will come back from this break. To stay with us.
Well, the housing solution we have developed is a multifaceted one. First, we have tried to lead a program to build what we think will be an acceptable and hopefully affordable housing type based on surveys we did in 2015-2016 and construction that started in 2017. And that's going on in 34 states as the National Housing Program.
This message is from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
A new edition of TV Guide is out exclusively with Governor Simon Lalong of Plateau State.
Since assuming office, our rescue administration has pursued the path of peace and reconciliation and restored confidence among people of different ethnic, religious, and political persuasions. Peace is back on the plateau. We are building world-class infrastructure in roads and opening up opportunities for innovation.
The edition is a compendium of mind-blowing stories for your reading pleasure, ranging from entertainment, economy, sports, media, politics, family, and lots more. Pick up a copy and keep abreast with issues and trending features within our space. TV Guide, very incisive, very educative and compelling. Grab a copy at the vendor near you or any NTA station nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
We are all Night
Nigerians. Against all odds, we shall and must remain united. We may have our challenges, our problems, and setbacks. However, together we shall overcome them all. What doesn't break us shall make us stronger. This is the mindset that shall bring peace, progress, and prosperity to our beloved country. Do not let tribal and religious sentiments govern how you think, act, or feel. Don't be influenced by those who want to destroy our precious national unity. Everybody who's a Nigerian is your brother and your sister. This is the mindset of the new Nigeria. It is also the mindset that we must all adopt. Let us support each other in creating the Nigeria of our dreams. This message is from the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
Thanks for staying with us on Nationwide. The need for all relevant stakeholders to work towards the sustainability of adolescents' reproductive health in Zamfara State has been stressed. This came to the fore at closeout event of Reaching and Empowering Adolescents to Make Informed Choices for Their Health REACH project in the state. Halil Muhammad Umar reports.
Reaching and Empowering Adolescents to Make Informed Choices for Their Health, otherwise called REACH, is a 3-year project implemented by Save the Children International in Gombe, Katsina, and Zamfara states, with the aim of enhancing the knowledge, skills, and attitudes of adolescents between the age of 10 to 19 years on sexual and reproductive health. In Zamfara State, the project, having spent the 3 years in Kaura Namuda and Talata Mafra local government areas, organized a close-out event where stakeholders reviewed achievements, challenges, and future possibilities.
The knowledge that the project has brought is something that would continue growing within the community, spreading its wings within the adolescents.
Adolescent sexual reproductive health, help in enjoying decision-making in the family. Let me categorically appeal to all children to be good ambassadors of their family, to display a good character wherever we find ourselves.
Secretary to Zamfara State Government, represented by Permanent Secretary in the State Ministry of Health, Dr. Habibu Yelwa, said a sustainability mechanism has been put in place.
With the advent of this project in the state, we'll be mobilized enough to effect a lot of changes, most especially in the health sector.
There were goodwill messages by representatives of various line ministries and other government agencies, as well as traditional institutions, who all commended the initiative and called for more similar projects. High point of the event was a panel discussion titled Identifying the Inputs and Processes Required to Carry Out and Sustain Adolescent Sexual Reproductive Health Program in Northern Nigeria. In Gusau, Halil Muhammad Umar, NTA News.
Now, wife of the Zamfara State Governor Balkisu Bello Muhammad has expressed confidence that the state government's huge investment in the health sector will bring essential medical service to the doorstep of the people, especially women and children. She made the remark while on a visit to the General Hospital, Talata Mafara. Jamilu Ibrahim has more.
The wife of Zamfara State Governor Balkisu Bello Muhammad's visit to Talata Mafara General Hospital was to assess the condition of the health facility for possible intervention. Haja Balkisu Bello was conducted round various sections of the hospital, especially the wards, where she presented financial assistance to each of the patients on admission. The Zamfara State Governor's wife, who sympathized with the patients and prayed for their quick recovery, reiterated the state government's determination to improve the present condition of all health facilities across the state, was able to bring in essential medical services to the doorsteps of the people, especially women and children. Chief Nursing Officer Talata Mafara General Hospital Muhammad Bello Babilu, who received the governor's wife, applauded the ongoing rehabilitation of the health facility and appealed for the provision of some essential medical equipment to the hospital. In the meantime, Hajab Balkisu Bello Muhammad has distributed clothing materials and cash to no fewer than 2,000 women in Talata Mafra local government area of Zamfara State. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
And that's it from here. It's now back to IODG in Abuja.
Thank you. The agricultural revolution policy of the federal government has been described as a critical intervention in the country's quest for food security Achigili Magaji reports that Azara in Nasarawa State is one of the 4 sites selected for the implementation of the National Maize Project in the country.
Other sites where the projects are located are Katsina, Niger, and Jigawa states. The program is aimed at increasing the national output of maize per annum from 10.7 million metric tons in 2015 to 20 million metric tons by 2025. Dr. Bello, who acknowledged that a lot has been achieved under this direction, reiterates that the positive disposition of President Muhammadu Buhari towards ensuring food sufficiency in the country has given the project a quantum leap.
When we started this program under Maize Association in collaboration and support from the Central Bank of Nigeria, by directives of the President Muhammadu Buhari, our production has increased from 2015 to 2020 to 20 million tons. There is a tremendous achievement. So therefore, there is nothing that we can say. We have to thank our President Muhammadu Buhari and the CBN governor.
He called on farmers in Nasarawa State to take advantage of the opportunity being provided through farming incentives by the federal government for improved farming practices and good returns on investment. The planting materials being used for the National Maize Project is an early maturing species of 42 days. In Lafia, Achigili Magaji, NTA News.
Victims of Thursday morning's flood in Chalidi community of CURFEW local government area of Bauchi State are still counting their losses, where more than 2,000 houses, shops and farmlands have been affected. Mahmoud Ibn Mohammed reports.
They have been displaced by flood waters and they have fled. Hundreds of people living in Chalidi Primary School in CURFEW local government area of Bauchi State, all victims of flood caused by seasonal rains. The flood has hit many homes and destroyed the livelihood of many, with an estimate of over 100 hectares of farmlands affected. Governor Bala Muhammad has come to assess the damage firsthand.
5,000 farmlands have been destroyed and property that cannot be computed have been destroyed. Those that are building on the flood drain will be advised not to do that. Because if you do that, the rivers or the tributaries or the plain will always find its course.
He says the government will provide the victims with immediate relief items while the State Emergency Management Agency takes stock of the damages caused by the flood. In Bauchi, Mahmoud Ibn Mohammed, NTA News.
It's time now for sports updates, and Amazi Marcus is our guide.